I never thought the medals I fought for, bled for, and cherished would ever be sold by my own daughter. It was a quiet Saturday morning. The sun poured gently through the blinds of my study, hitting the polished wooden desk where my military medals had always been displayed. Each medal told a story, some of courage, others of loss. They weren't just metal, they were my legacy, my identity. But that morning, something was off. A chill ran down my spine as I scanned the display. One medal was missing, then two. My heart raced. I searched every drawer, every cabinet. Nothing. Panic settled in, clawing at my chest. How could this happen? I whispered to myself, my hands trembling. Memories of my deployments, the nights I slept in mud and rain, the sacrifices I made, they flashed vividly in my mind. These medals weren't just decorations. They were proof that I had given everything for my country. I walked into the living room, and my daughter, Emily, sat there with a faint smile on her face. "Dad, about the garage sale yesterday," she began, hesitating. My blood ran cold. "What did you do?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She avoided my eyes. I sold some of the old stuff you didn't need anymore." It was like someone had punched me in the gut. I felt betrayed, heartbroken, and furious all at once. My own daughter had no idea what she had done. The room spun. I sank into the armchair, gripping the arms as the weight of realization crushed me. These weren't old things. They were pieces of my soul, moments of my life carved in metal, moments she could never understand. And yet, deep down, I knew I had to stay calm. Rage could destroy me faster than the betrayal itself. There was something she didn't know, a secret tucked inside one of the medals that even she couldn't have imagined. I clenched my fists, staring at her with a mix of sorrow and determination. "Emily," I said slowly, "there's something you don't know about these medals, something you'll regret forever." Her eyes widened, but she didn't ask. I could see the flicker of fear in them. The story was just beginning, and she had no idea the storm she had unleashed.
The man in the dark suit didn't move. His eyes, cold and calculating, seemed to measure every inch of me. I could feel the weight of the hidden documents inside the metal pressing on my mind. My training, my years in the military told me to stay calm. But inside, a storm raged. I said, "I need it back," I repeated, my voice firmer this time. He chuckled softly, a sound that made my blood run cold. "It's not that simple. This is an auction item now. Others have already shown interest. Rules are rules, soldier." Soldier. The word stung, reminded me of all I had sacrificed. All those deployments, all those nights away from family, all the battles fought so that I could keep my country and my secrets safe. And now my own daughter had endangered everything. I stepped closer, my gaze locked on the display case. "You don't understand what's inside that medal. It's not just a piece of metal. It's classified information, national security level information." The smirk faded from his face, replaced with a flicker of concern. "Classified? Do you expect me to just hand it over because you say so?" "Yes," I said, my voice low, controlled, but deadly serious. "Because if it falls into the wrong hands, people will get hurt, lives will be destroyed." He hesitated, glancing around, clearly weighing his options. Then, slowly, He pulled out a phone and made a call. "Yes, I need to verify the history of Lot 42. Uh-huh. I see. Understood." I knew that call could take minutes, hours even. Every second that passed felt like a knife twisting in my gut. I couldn't let this end with someone else holding my secret. Suddenly, I remembered a trick from my past military operations: observation and patience. I scanned the room, noting exits, security cameras, and staff. Every move mattered. If I acted rashly, I could lose everything forever. Then, the collector finally spoke. "All right, I'll make a deal. You can take the medal, but only if you tell me why it's so important." I hesitated. Could I trust him? Could I reveal a fraction of the truth without giving away too much? My mind raced, weighing every possible outcome. Finally, I spoke. "It contains sensitive information that could jeopardize lives if it falls into the wrong hands. That's all you need to know. You give it back, no questions, no exceptions." He studied me for what felt like an eternity, then slowly nodded. "Fine. But if anything comes of this, it's on you." I exhaled, relief washing over me. But it was short-lived. As I reached for the medal, I noticed another figure approaching. A woman, sharp, poised, and clearly not part of the auction staff. She locked eyes with me, and I felt an immediate sense of danger. "Looking for this?" she said, her voice smooth, almost mocking. In her hand, she held another medal. My heart skipped. Could it be? Had Emily's actions already triggered a chain I hadn't anticipated? The collector raised an eyebrow, his earlier concern replaced with curiosity. "Who's this?" I didn't answer. My eyes were locked on the woman and the medal she held. This was no longer just about retrieving my medal. It was about uncovering the full scope of what Emily had done. And in that moment, I knew the next move had to be decisive. Any hesitation could cost me more than just a medal. The woman's smirk was unnerving. She held the medal like a trophy, her grip confident, almost taunting. I could feel my pulse quicken. Whoever she was, she knew exactly what she was doing, and that worried me more than any auctioneer or collector ever could. "Give it back," I said, my voice low but firm. "It doesn't belong to you." She tilted her head, amusement dancing in her eyes. "Belong? Oh, soldier, this belongs to whoever knows how to use it." A chill ran down my spine. The medal was no longer just a keepsake or a piece of my history. It had become a weapon in someone else's hands, and Emily, my own daughter, had unwittingly unleashed it. The collector tried to intervene. "Let's not escalate. Hand it over, and we can finish this peacefully." I ignored him. My focus was entirely on the woman. "Who are you?" I demanded. "Why are you here?" Her laugh was soft, almost musical, but it carried a deadly undertone. "Let's just say, I collect opportunities, and you just provided me with one." My mind raced. She knew about the hidden compartment, the secret documents. That meant she either had been watching Emily, or worse, had been in contact with her. I felt a surge of anger at my daughter's recklessness, but I knew now wasn't the time to dwell on that. "You don't understand," I said, stepping closer, keeping my body tense, ready for any sudden movement. "If that medal leaves here, lives will be destroyed." Her eyes gleamed, and for a moment I thought she might laugh in my face. But then she spoke, quietly, almost a whisper. "I understand perfectly. That's why I need it." The collector stepped back, clearly uneasy. He had no idea what was really inside the metal, only sensing the tension between us. I had to act fast. My military training kicked in, the split-second calculations, the awareness of every angle and exit. I noticed a slight gap in her stance, a tiny moment of vulnerability. With a swift movement, I lunged forward and grabbed the metal from her hand. My heart raced as I felt the weight and the reassuring presence of the hidden documents inside. She didn't scream, she didn't move. She simply watched, her face a mixture of surprise and respect. "You think this ends here?" she asked softly. "This is only the beginning." Her words hit me like a hammer. Only the beginning? What had Emily really done? Who else knew? My mind flashed back to my daughter's reckless behavior, to the moment she sold my medals without a second thought. I realized that I had been naive. This wasn't just a personal betrayal. It was part of a larger, dangerous game, and now I was right in the middle of it. The collector stepped forward, his voice trembling slightly. What do we do now?" I turned to him, eyes hard. "We make sure it never leaves this room, and then we find out exactly who else is involved." The woman finally smiled, almost approvingly. "Good. I like your style. But remember, secrets have a way of finding their way out." I held the metal tightly, feeling the weight of responsibility and the storm of danger closing in. Every decision I made from this point forward could mean the difference between life and death, for me, for Emily, and for everyone connected to this secret. And deep down, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. I would not let this metal, or its secrets, fall into the wrong hands, not while I still had a breath in my body. The tension in the room was suffocating. I held the metal tightly, my mind racing through every possible scenario. The woman's calm demeanor only made it worse. She clearly wasn't afraid, and that meant she had power, real power, that I didn't fully understand yet. I glanced at the collector, who looked like a man on the edge of a breakdown. "We can't let her leave with it," I said firmly. "Not now, not ever." He nodded, but his hands shook. I don't even know what's inside it. It could be dangerous." "Exactly, and that's why it stays with me." The woman's smirk returned. "You're quite the strategist," she said softly. "But one man can only do so much. There are others who will come looking. You're playing a very dangerous game, soldier." My heart sank. Others? I realized that Emily's careless actions had set off a chain reaction I hadn't even imagined. Someone else knew about the secret documents, possibly people who wouldn't hesitate to kill for them. "You underestimate me," I said, stepping closer. "I've survived worse than you, and I will protect what's mine no matter the cost." Her eyes glimmered with challenge. "Bold words, but bold words don't protect you from what's coming. You need allies, or you'll fall alone." Her statement gave me pause. Allies. I hated the idea of trusting anyone right now, not after seeing what Emily had done. But I also knew she was right. To survive, I needed to play smarter, not just stronger. I made a decision. "Fine," I said cautiously. "I'll hear you out, but this metal and its contents never leave my control. Do you understand?" She studied me for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Then she nodded slowly. "Agreed. For now. But make no mistake, time is against you. Every moment you delay, they get closer." My mind raced. Who were they? And what exactly had Emily unleashed? I needed answers, and I needed them fast. I glanced at the metal again, feeling the reassuring weight of the hidden documents inside. This small object had the power to ruin lives, destroy reputations, and possibly ignite conflicts I couldn't even predict. "I need information," I said firmly. Everything you know about who's involved. Names, plans, locations. Now. Her lips curved into a faint smile. Patience, soldier. Secrets are best revealed slowly. But I'll give you a glimpse. Just enough to keep you alive. For now. As she spoke, I felt a mixture of relief and dread. Relief that I might finally get some answers, dread because every answer would likely reveal more danger. The web of betrayal Emily had spun was bigger than I had imagined, and I was just starting to see its edges. I realized then that the coming days would test me in ways I had never faced before, not on the battlefield, not in training, but here, against a shadowy force that thrived on deception and fear. The woman's voice cut through my thoughts. Remember, soldier, trust no one, not even your own family, especially not your own family. Her words stung. I thought of Emily, my daughter, and the careless way she had sold the medals. I had underestimated her recklessness, and now I would have to outsmart her and everyone else who might try to take advantage of it. Holding the medal close, I made a silent vow. I would protect it. I would protect the secrets it held, and I would uncover the full truth behind the dangerous game Emily had unwittingly unleashed, no matter what. The storm was coming, and I had to be ready. The next morning, I woke up with a single thought. I had to confront Emily. The weight of the medal and the secret it carried felt heavier than ever. Every step I took toward her apartment was filled with tension. I knew this confrontation could go one of two ways: reconciliation or complete disaster. I knocked, my heart hammering. Emily opened the door, her smile masking a flicker of guilt, or was it fear? "Dad," she said casually, but her voice betrayed her. "I didn't think you'd come here." "I need answers," I said firmly, stepping inside. "Why did you sell the medals? Do you know what's inside one of them?" She's face went pale. I just wanted some quick cash. I didn't know—" "You didn't know?" I interrupted, holding up the medal. "This contains classified military documents, Emily. These are not just medals. They hold secrets that could ruin lives." Emily's eyes widened. I didn't realize. I swear, I thought they were just collectibles." I took a deep breath. "You need to understand the gravity of what you've done. But more importantly, I need to know who you sold them to, every single buyer." She hesitated, then handed me a crumpled list. "Here, all the contacts I used. I'm sorry, Gad, truly sorry." I scanned the list. Some names were familiar, some alarming. Spies, corrupt collectors, and shadowy figures who would stop at nothing to get these secrets. Then came the shock I didn't expect. One name stood out, a high-ranking official I had trusted years ago. And now they had the documents. "This is bigger than we thought," I muttered. "Much bigger." Emily's shoulders slumped. "What do we do now?" I clenched the medal tightly. "We fix it. We take back what's ours and make sure no one can use it against anyone. And you," I looked at her, my voice steady but cold, "you learn that actions have consequences. Recklessness like this isn't something we can forgive lightly." Over the next few days, we tracked down every buyer, using a combination of my military contacts and intelligence resources I had never needed until now. One by one, we retrieved the medals, recovering the hidden documents. Each confrontation was tense, some dangerous, but every time I held a recovered medal, I felt the weight of responsibility and the sense that justice was finally being served. Finally, Emily and I stood in the living room, all the medals back where they belonged. I looked at her, seeing a mix of fear, relief, and understanding. "You've learned something important," I said quietly. "This wasn't just about medals or money. It was about trust, responsibility, and family. She nodded, tears welling up. I understand now, Dad. I really do. I'm sorry for everything. I placed the medal gently in her hands. Make sure this never happens again. Let this be the lesson that changes your path. For the first time since this nightmare began, I felt a sense of closure. The secrets were safe, the medals were safe, and my daughter, she had learned the value of what really matters. But in the back of my mind, I knew one thing. The world was still full of people willing to exploit secrets, to betray trust, and if that time came again, I would be ready. Stronger, wiser, and unyielding. Because some battles aren't fought on battlefields. Some battles are fought in the shadows of our own homes, and winning them requires courage, patience, and the unwavering resolve to protect what's truly valuable. Holding the medal, I realized that sometimes the greatest victories come not from defeating enemies, but from teaching those we love the lessons they need to survive. And this, finally, was one of those victories.